My name is Ashley, and in this video I'm going to be talking about Asians, specifically East Asians, and the dating market. A little preface here, I am going to be talking more about East Asia just because I am Korean personally, so I do have a different subjective view on media and in society. I just want to say I'm not here to invalidate anyone's experience. I know I'm going to be missing out on the South Asia, on West Asia, and Central Asia, and even the Middle East. At Penn State University, there was a lecture by Dr. Sam Richards. He talked about how Asian men are perceived as less attractive and less desirable in the dating world. For an Asian man to be perceived as a similar attractiveness as a white man, the Asian man needs to make $250,000 more to be perceived as a similar attractiveness as a white man.
Andy has to make, on all the dating apps in the dating market, okay, Andy has to make $247,000 more per year than this dude right here, right? $247,000 more per year to be equal to him on the dating market. So
there's a study conducted by Grace Kao at the Yale University on Asian American men and the romantic dating market. The research showed that 90% of non-Asian women would not date an Asian man, and funny enough, 40% of Asian women would actually not date an Asian man either.
Grade school, I remember just wanting to take this girl out to a dance. And when she told me that she didn't find Asian guys attractive, I was like, oh my God, like what's wrong with being an Asian guy? Like, why aren't we seen attractive, and what's wrong with me?
I think the lack of positive representation of Asian men in the media factor in why Asian men aren't seen as attractive in the West. However, there has been a slight change over the past few years. In my head, I think the positive exposure of East Asian men in the media is corresponding how people perceive as East Asian men as attractive. To examine the hypothesis of the increased desirability of East Asian men and Asian men in romantic dating markets in the West, I conducted a qualitative and quantitative study. For the quantitative study, I conducted an Instagram poll. For the qualitative study, I'm going to interview some of my friends who are Asian and see their personal experience. I'm not trying to pity Asian men or put them in a box of being feeble, helpless, or incapable of dating people outside of their race. I just want to share light and awareness on this topic because I'm Asian and I do see these things firsthand. Hi, my name is Ashley. I'm 19 and I'm Korean. It's totally fine.
Whoa. I'm 18 years old and I'm 18 years old. And I'm Korean.
You go.
I'm 19 and I'm Chinese.
Christian Wong. I'm 19 and I'm Chinese.
Nice. I put a poll on my Instagram and I asked these following questions, and I'm going to be talking about them with my friends today. So first off, I asked the question, have you experienced or heard any comments that East Asians are unattractive or sexually inferior? On my Instagram poll, it said 66% yes, 34% no. I talked to John about this and he said, did you say no?
Yeah. Yes.
Here, here's a deeper. We all went to the same high school. Yeah. We all graduated from the same high school, but different years. So you graduated 2021?
Yes.
And we graduated 2020. But we all had different friend groups.
Well, yeah,
we were not connected in high school.
We were not.
The demographic makeup of both years was vastly different, which I think gives them a different experience.
Yeah. Like friend group was more like...
No, it was actually predominantly white, I would
But
say.
it was pretty like
it was more diverse in areas other than race.
Yeah, so like opinions, because the friend group I had, their opinions were just very... And then Christian, he hung out with, I don't know, like
you hung out with everyone.
Yeah, like you were friends with like everyone though.
I didn't really I didn't really have a group I was bound to. I was kind of bound to individual people, and then I kind of just bounced. Like,
cause we hung out a little bit in high school.
Well, I think you had a very different opinion of me in high school than you do now.
That is true. Right? That is very true. So question number 1 is, have you experienced or heard any comments that East Asian people are unattractive or sexually inferior? I've heard like that Asian guys have like small dicks. Yeah.
Growing up, that's
and then like Asian girls are flat. I've heard that too. But I don't know about you guys because you guys have a different...
Nobody's said it to my face.
Really?
Well, in high school, I was still like 6'1".
Yeah.
You know? Like nobody's gonna say it to my face, but like obviously through like media, like, you know, you hear it in the weirdest places, like mostly comment sections, maybe like YouTube comment section. Porn comment sections actually reveals a lot about like kind of the underbelly of race relations.
I got inspired by this video because I'm going to just tell them the statistic,
Okay.
because we talked about this on the phone,
Okay.
the research conducted, and Asian men are least attractive out of all the races, and they have to make $250,000 more to be perceived as a similar attractiveness as a white man. And then another study said, it's by Yale University, 90% of non-Asian women would not date an Asian man, and 40% of Asian women would not date an Asian man. And on my Instagram poll, funny enough, like the last question, like, do you find Asian people attractive? People who said no, half of them were Asian women.
Okay, let's see the results.
Their names.
I'm not exposing. I'm not exposing.
Like, why don't you guys start off? Because when you say stuff like that, I don't know what you're expecting us to really say to that, you know?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, have you been called unattractive before? Like, what do you mean?
Like, have you called unattractive solely due to your, like, race? Oh, like, if you said a girl's cute, but like, oh, but she doesn't date Asian guys, though.
I've never heard someone say those words.
Really?
Like, when you ask me,
I'm
if like, in the same way that nobody's gonna say to me, oh, Asian people have weird features. It's not like it's not something I actively think about, right? But it's like,
okay.
you can't help but notice some of these things, you know?
Oh, you, John, because you grew up in Korea.
In Korea, guys my age would probably worship blonde girls.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, or you know, they just love white people.
And that shows in like the plastic surgery you get, right?
At this day and age, the age of our peers, the consequence of directly saying that to someone is too large.
Do you consume any media where East Asian people are the protagonists or they influence the plot line?
Squid Game.
On the Instagram poll, it said 75% said yes, 25% said no. But yeah, I think we all watch some sort of media where East Asian or Asian people.
Is it fair to consider like
Stuff produced
yeah
by
and in Asia?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I think like really recently though, like in the last 5 years, only in the last 5 years has that kind of stuff really pushed
Like,
through
the
and
Western,
broken
yeah.
through to like people who aren't Asian.
We were talking on the phone. I was talking about the whole Netflix Korean Renaissance kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
It's
like if you go on Netflix, there's literally a section that's like K-dramas, right? And they're continuing to make stuff.
Yeah, like
And
Netflix is making them, and
exactly.
like they're pumping.
A lot of people here love anime, and more people like anime than people who are willing to date an Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah.
But there's like, I don't know, that's
Like,
a whole conversation that like could really get started, because there's also that subgroup of people who love anime and like fetishize Asians. Yeah.
Christian, go on.
The whole K-drama thing, I watched like probably 2 total. I watched a couple of movies, but I wouldn't say I go out of my way to look for content that's other than anime, which that's also a tricky situation because the character's race is never really discussed. A lot of times it's implied. Sometimes they give you last name information, which helps. Attack on Titan, there's a lot of Germanic last names.
Yeah.
Eren Yeager, right?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
And like just based on the set.
Yeah, I
don't watch anime at all, so
well, I wouldn't. Yeah.
like
Okay.
The Last Airbender. That's not even anime
Man.
though. I'm sorry.
Like, it was produced in Korea. The characters are pretty diverse. There's Inuit
Yeah,
people.
a lot of different types of.
Bald people. Oh.
The third question. So there is a perspective shift of desirability or attractiveness of East Asian people over the past year or past few years.
Yeah, absolutely.
You said, yeah.
I think like especially with, I'm gonna use BTS as an example. They really broke through, and now like half their fan base is probably not even Asian.
Like the 2 girls losing their shit over like
you know, you guys know Sebyok from Squid Game?
Yeah.
She's being worshipped on like meme pages and Twitter, stuff like that.
She was for a while.
Yeah, and she
gorgeous.
she looks very Asian.
Yeah.
You know, small
you
can
eyes.
I watched a video on this. Her face is more masculine though.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that's popularized in the West.
Is it
having a very
like
masculine.
like why she's perfect or something?
Yeah, like why? Because her and Zendaya, they
Yeah,
have very masculine
It's
jaws.
like straw jaw like.
Yeah.
But like when you're in Asia, they want to see like a V line.
Yeah, and then the last question was, do you find East Asian people attractive, or are you East Asian people? Oh, yo! I just want to say,
let's not
yeah,
like
this poll is not like
not
empirically
double
like
blind.
exactly.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of caveats with
But
this
these
poll.
are people who are fine with you knowing. that they aren't attracted to Asian people.
That is true.
Okay.
We came back from dinner and we're back at answering the questions. Oh, okay. Are you attracted to East Asian people? Let's start off with John first.
Yes, I am.
Straight up
answer.
answer. Have you always been attracted to East Asian people or just Asian people in general, or?
I like all races.
You don't discriminate.
No implicit bias whatsoever.
Wow.
What about you, Christian?
Yeah.
Emily?
Yeah, yes, but like I don't really seek out like a certain race. I have like certain features that I like that could be present in someone who is like any ethnicity, you know?
Do you think like culturally you would probably like date, well I mean like
culturally, I feel like it would be easier for me to take someone home to my parents if they were like also Asian. My parents aren't like traditional.
I feel like my parents are pretty traditional.
Taking people like home to like meet my parents in the past, like it's never been a problem, but also my mom always gets super embarrassed and she's like, I feel like I'm gonna be so awkward.
Same.
And like I don't know what to say, and like
yeah, in high school, like hanging out with white people,
yeah,
being exposed to only like white people as a friend group
I feel like you internalize that.
Yeah, after I graduated high school and then being exposed to like Asian men per se, so John and Christian, made me feel attracted to Asian men.
Yeah, that's a compliment, bro.
Like I've always been attracted to like Asian people, but I only dated white guys in high school because I was worried about what other people would think.
Same.
Damn,
Okay.
what do you mean?
So
Fuck.
I'm not even gonna lie,
dirty
bro.
railroad workers.
I want people to think I have like a hot boyfriend or whatever.
and like the terms of dating like an Asian boyfriend wasn't like
Yeah.
considered.
Yeah, it's
Like
not
that
like
standard,
you're not
yeah.
considered hot if you're Asian.
But now it
Back
is.
then,
Now like people are like looking out like
people are like
Like
give me
Asian
an
men.
Asian
Similar phenomenon is going on with black women. A lot of black men won't date black women.
Yeah, I've read about that. Yeah.
There was in the same study it said that black women and Asian men were at the bottom of the dating pool.
But I don't know if it's like a lot of people use the word like self-hatred kind of thing because it's quite extreme to use that term.
The lecture video like interviewed like Asian students, and I think one of the Asian girls said that like, oh, I don't want to date someone that looks like me. But the funny thing is that in psychology you're attracted to people that
look
look
like you,
similar
yeah.
to you. So that's end video.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. While doing this. So that's end video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. For you to leave any comments or your own personal experiences on the dating market and dating in general. I feel a lot of people feel inadequate or lost when they're dating. And I think hearing these experiences is really helpful just because it kind of validates your own experiences and feelings.